Have you ever felt a sudden, cold silence after you spoke in a meeting? Or noticed a client slowly backing away after an email you thought was perfect?
Most people think their business English is fine, but the truth is, you might be unintentionally distancing your partners and damaging your reputation every single day without even realizing it.
It's a silent career blocker, Mark. I just saw an email sent to a global director that made me freeze. A talented manager, trying to be helpful, wrote, "You must stop everything and deal with my request immediately."
You must stop everything? Even with good intentions, that sounds like a demanding order, not a professional collaboration. They wanted to show urgency, but they ended up creating a massive social friction.
Exactly. The director felt disrespected, the partnership cooled down instantly, and the worst part? That manager has no idea why. They thought they were just being efficient.
This is the invisible barrier. One word used with the wrong tone can freeze your professional growth in an instant. Welcome to Easy Business English for Success. I'm Mark, and we help global teams navigate these delicate communication traps every week.
And I'm Sarah. Today, we are exposing the 10 most costly mistakes that make you look unprofessional even when your grammar is technically correct.
We're giving you the executive shield. By the end of this video, you'll master the tone fixer strategy, the global empathy vocabulary, and the recovery protocol to protect your brand.
Your career is too valuable to lose over a misunderstanding. Let's make your English reflect the true leader you are. Let's fix this right now. Let's dive into our first major challenge, Mark. It's what I call the aggressive assistant vibe. It happens when people use must, have to, or want when they think they're simply being clear.
Ah, the directness trap. Many people think being professional means getting straight to the point. So they say, "You must send me the file," or "I want you to sign this."
Ugh, ouch. Mark, let's play this out so our listeners can feel the impact. Imagine I'm your client and you need me to approve a budget. Give it to me the unpolished way, the way that creates instant tension.
Sarah, I want the budget signed today. You have to do it before 5 p.m. because I want to start the project.
Wow. As a client, I'd immediately feel like you're managing me, not partnering with me. Even if the deadline is real, that language creates a wall of resistance.
And that's the pain point. The project might stall not because of the money, but because the relationship became strained over a single verb. So, Sarah, what's the easy fix? How do we turn a command into a professional invitation?
It's about softening. We use would, could, or may. Instead of I want, try I would appreciate it if, or would you mind?
Let me try that again. Sarah, I was wondering if we could get the budget signed today. It would really help us stay on track to start the project by Monday. Would that be possible for you?
That is the executive shift. You used I was wondering if. It's a brilliant, low-pressure way to open a request.
It feels so much more collaborative. But Sarah, what if it's a true emergency? How do we stay polite but firm?
Great question. Focus on the task, not the person. Use importance words. Say, this is quite time sensitive, or this is a high priority item for the board.
Time sensitive. That sounds like a leader speaking. It's so much more effective than hurry up.
Exactly. If you get this wrong, people might avoid your emails. But if you get it right, you become the person everyone wants to work with. Speaking of emails, wait until you hear the mistake people make when they are late for a meeting. This next scenario affects some of the most talented and nice people in the office. I call it the sorry overload.
Oh, I'm 100% in this category. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for the late reply. I'm sorry to bother you.
Mark, here is the hard truth. In the global business world, if you apologize for every tiny detail, you are accidentally signaling, I am a source of problems.
That's a heavy thought. But if I actually make a mistake, shouldn't I be humble?
There is a huge difference between a sincere apology and a professional update. When you over-apologize, you focus on your past failure. When you use easy business English, you focus on the present solution.
Give me a real-life example. Let's say I join a Zoom call 3 minutes late. Usually I'd say, "I'm so sorry, my internet was slow, I'm so sorry."
No, that just highlights the disruption. Instead, join the call and say, "Thank you everyone for your patience. Let's dive in."
Wait, no sorry? Just thank you for your patience?
Precisely. You are flipping the script. You are acknowledging their time and rewarding their patience instead of making them focus on your lateness. It keeps the energy of the meeting productive.
That is a massive perspective shift for me, Sarah. It changes my whole posture. What about an email where I forgot to attach a document?
Don't write, "I'm so sorry, I forgot the file, I'm so clumsy." Just send a quick follow-up with the subject, "Updated, attachment included," and say, "Please find the file attached here for your reference."
Wow, it's so much cleaner. It uses the phrasal verb find attached, which is a staple in business English. It feels like a quick update, not a major error.
Exactly. You are protecting your professional brand. You are Sarah or Mark, the expert, not Sarah or Mark, the person who always makes mistakes.
I feel like a weight has been lifted. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be professional.
And being professional also means knowing how to handle those awkward kitchen conversations, which is exactly what we're tackling next.
Sarah, let's move from the boardroom to a place that's even more tricky, the office kitchen. This is where I see some of the most uncomfortable communication traps.
The small talk challenges. People think because it's a casual setting, the professional rules don't apply. What's a common one you've noticed, Mark?
It's the direct translation of friendly interest. I once heard a colleague ask a senior VP, "How much was your car?" Or even worse, "Why are you still single?" because they thought it was just being warm.
Oh dear, Mark, in global business culture, those questions are like a social no-entry sign. Asking about money or private life too early can make you look remarkably unprofessional or even intrusive.
It's true. The VP just became very stiff and ended the conversation. That colleague wanted to break the ice, but they accidentally created a cold atmosphere.
Breaking the ice, that's a great idiom. It means starting a conversation to feel more comfortable. But if you ask the wrong thing, you do the opposite. Listeners, remember, business English is about respecting boundaries.
So what's the executive small talk strategy? How do we sound friendly without crossing the line?
Stick to the safe zone, whether work or professional hobbies, and use open-ended pointers. For example, instead of asking the price of something, say, "That's a great laptop. How are you finding the performance so far?"
How are you finding it? That is a very natural phrasal verb. It means, what is your opinion of it?
Exactly. Or try, "How's your week shaping up?" It's professional, light, and gives the other person control over the conversation.
Shaping up. It sounds so much more dynamic than, how is your work? It's a small shift, but it makes you sound like a sophisticated communicator.
It really does. But be careful. Even if your small talk is perfect, there is a mistake people make during actual meetings that makes them look like they have no original ideas.
Wait, Sarah. Before we reveal that meeting mistake, I have a question for our community.
Good call. Everyone, we've talked about command traps and small talk boundaries. Have you ever asked a question in English and realized the second you said it that it felt a bit awkward?
I think we all have. Write "me" in the comments if you've ever had a facepalm moment like that. Sharing these stories helps us all realize we aren't alone in this journey.
Okay, Mark, back to the meeting room. Let's talk about how we support an idea. This is where a lot of people get stuck in the "I agree" loop.
You mean just saying, "I agree" or "I think so too" over and over?
Exactly. While it's not grammatically wrong, in a high-stakes meeting, it can make you look like a yes man, someone who just follows without contributing value. If you only echo others, the leadership might wonder why they invited you to the room.
That's a tough realization. So how do we agree in a way that proves we are a strategic partner?
Use the agreement plus build formula. Don't just agree, add something. Use phrases like, I completely agree, and to build on that point, or that aligns with our goals. Specifically, I think,
Aligns with. That is a top-tier business word. It means to be in harmony or in the same direction.
it is. Or you can say, you hit the nail on the head, Mark. I'd also like to point out that.
Hit the nail on the head. I love that idiom. It means to describe exactly what the situation or problem is.
Precisely. When you use idioms like that correctly, you transition from being a student to being a peer. You show you understand the unwritten rules of the office.
But Sarah, what if I don't agree? Saying, you're wrong is a major social shock, isn't it?
Oh, it's a total conversation stopper. It creates immediate defensiveness. Instead, use the perspective shift.
Like saying, I have a different take on this?
Exactly. Or, I see it slightly differently. It keeps the focus on the idea, not the person. It allows everyone to stay professional while exploring different options.
I have a different take on this. It sounds so elegant. It shows you have an opinion, but you also have class.
It's a powerful tool. But Mark, there is one more thing even more dangerous than disagreeing. It's how we give feedback to someone who made a mistake. If you do this wrong, you might lose your best team member. Mark, we're moving into one of the most sensitive areas of office communication, giving feedback. This is where a professional relationship can either grow stronger or become incredibly strained.
Oh, I've seen this go wrong so many times. I once had a manager who thought they were being direct, but they actually sounded quite harsh. It made the whole team feel discouraged.
That's a common trap. The biggest error is leading with you statements when discussing a problem. For instance, you didn't complete the report, or you made a mistake in the figures.
Even as an example, that feels very heavy. It's like being pointed at in front of the whole office.
Exactly. In a global business environment, when you start with you, the other person's brain often switches to defense mode. They stop looking for solutions and start looking for excuses. It's a costly mistake because the original problem never actually gets fixed.
So what is the executive way to address a mistake without causing friction?
We focus on the process, not the person. Use object-oriented language. Instead of, you made a mistake, try, I noticed some inconsistencies in the data, or there seems to be a slight oversight in the final draft.
Inconsistencies and oversight. I like those. They sound much more objective. It's like we are both looking at a puzzle together rather than me being the problem.
Precisely. You can also use the phrasal verb point out, as in, I'd like to point out a few areas where we can sharpen the numbers before the presentation.
Sharpen the numbers. That sounds like a high-level strategy session.
It is, and always conclude with a future-focused question. Instead of, don't let this happen again, ask, how can we ensure the next version is fully aligned with the client's expectations?
Wow, you've just turned a potential argument into a coaching moment. That is a major executive skill.
It really is. But Mark, as important as face-to-face feedback is, the mistakes we make in emails can be even more damaging because they leave a permanent record.
Oh, let's talk about email. Specifically when we get an email that we aren't ready to answer yet. Is it a mistake to just wait?
It's actually a very common reputation-damaging mistake. People think, I'll reply when I have all the answers, but in the professional world, silence is often interpreted as being disorganized or, worse, indifferent.
I've been there. Then 3 days pass and it feels so awkward to finally reply. You feel like you've lost your professional glow.
Exactly. You don't want to be the person who doesn't respond. To keep things easy and professional, you need the acknowledgement protocol.
What does that look like in practice?
Even if you are busy, send a 10-second update. Use phrases like, I've received your request and I'm looking into it. I'll get back to you by tomorrow afternoon.
Looking into it and get back to you. Those are two essential phrasal verbs for every office worker.
They are. And if you need more time, use, please bear with me while I gather the necessary details.
Bear with me. That sounds so much more respectful than wait for me. What if my schedule is completely full?
Then be clear. Say, I'm currently tied up with the quarterly launch, but I'll circle back to your request on Thursday morning.
Circle back. That's the ultimate corporate idiom. It shows you have a plan. You aren't ignoring them, you are prioritizing.
Correct. In business English, communication is trust. By sending that short update, you are protecting your brand as a reliable partner.
Sarah, I'm feeling more confident with every scenario. I hope our listeners are too.
I hope so. If you've heard a phrase in the last 15 minutes that you can use in your next email, please hit that like button right now.
It really helps the channel reach more professionals who want to avoid these traps. And stay with us because in the next part, we're revealing the most delicate skill of all, how to interrupt a meeting without sounding rude.
Oh, that one is a true game changer. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, Sarah, let's talk about a situation that happens in almost every meeting. Someone is speaking, and you have a vital point to add, but there's just no gap to enter the conversation.
Haha, the meeting monologue. We've all been there. A common mistake here is either staying silent forever, which makes you look invisible, or shouting something like, wait, or listen to me.
Oh, wait sounds so abrupt. It's like you're trying to stop a moving vehicle. I did that early in my career, and the whole room just went cold. It was a very painful lesson in professional etiquette.
That's because you disrupted the social flow, Mark. In high-level global business, we don't stop people. We jump in or interject using specific professional bridges.
Interject. That's a sophisticated word. So, Sarah, what's the executive bridge? How do I interrupt the flow without looking like I'm being disrespectful?
You use the acknowledgement plus request combo. Try, sorry to jump in, Mark, but could I just add a quick point here? Or if I could just interject for a second, I have some data that might support what you're saying.
Ah, so I'm not stopping them, I'm actually adding value to their point. That makes a huge difference in how the other person feels.
Exactly. It changes the vibe from I want to talk to I want to help the project. You can also use the phrase, I'd like to chime in on that.
Chime in. That phrasal verb sounds so natural. It's like adding a harmony to a song rather than interrupting it.
Exactly. And here is the pro secret. Once you finish your point, throw it back to the person you interrupted. Say, sorry for the interruption, Mark. Please continue with your thought.
That is the ultimate professional shield. It shows I'm confident enough to speak but respectful enough to listen.
It's a great skill. But Mark, even if you master the art of jumping in, there is a tiny 3-letter word that can ruin your entire argument if you use it in the wrong place.
A 3-letter word. You've got me worried now, Sarah. What is it?
It's the word but.
But? I use that in every meeting. I like your idea, but it's too expensive. What's wrong with that?
In professional psychology, but acts like an eraser. It deletes everything you said before it. When you say, I like your idea, but, the listener's brain only hears, I don't like your idea.
Ah, you're right. It feels like a subtle rejection. It's a common trap that makes you look like you're always being negative, even when you're trying to be helpful.
So, for our easy business English strategy, here is the secret. Replace but with and.
And? How does that work? I like your idea, and it's too expensive. That sounds a bit strange.
You have to frame it correctly. You use the perspective shift. Try, I see the value in that idea, and I'm also mindful of our budget constraints. How can we find a middle ground?
Mindful of and budget constraints. Oh, that is much more polished. It sounds like we are partners looking at two different facts together.
Exactly. Or use the phrase, I hear your point, and at the same time, we need to consider X.
At the same time, it's so much softer than but. It allows two different opinions to exist without starting a conflict.
Correct. And if you need to be even more formal, use the word reservations, as in, I have some reservations about that approach. Could we look at it from another angle?
Reservations. It sounds so elegant. It shows you have concerns, but you're expressing them like a true diplomat.
Being a diplomat is key, Mark, because if you don't handle these disagreements correctly, you'll find that people stop inviting you to the real meetings where decisions are made.
I don't want that. I want to be in the room. What's next on our list to make sure that happens?
Mark, we are reaching the final stages of our list, but this one is a subtle reputation drainer. It's the phrase, I'll try.
I'll try? But Sarah, isn't that being honest? If I'm not 100% certain, I don't want to overpromise. Isn't it better to be humble?
In a casual setting, yes, but in a high-level business English context, I'll try often sounds like you've already accepted the possibility of failure. It creates a commitment gap. If a CEO asks for a report and you say, I'll try to get it done, they won't feel at ease. They'll feel they need to check on you constantly.
I see. It makes me look like I lack accountability. So how do we express effort without sounding uncertain?
You use commitment language. Instead of I'll try, use I will make it a priority, or I will do my best to meet that deadline and I'll keep you updated if any roadblocks appear.
Roadblocks. I love that word. It sounds like a temporary challenge on the path to success, not a personal failure.
Exactly. You can also use the phrasal verb see it through, as in, I'll see this project through to the end. It shows high-level ownership.
What if the request is actually impossible for me right now?
Then be a professional no-sayer. Say, based on my current workload, I can't commit to that today. However, I can have it for you by Wednesday. Does that work for your timeline?
I can't commit to that. It sounds so much more organized than I'm too busy. It shows you are in control of your schedule.
Precisely. People respect those who know their limits more than those who try and fail. Our final scenario, Mark, this is the post-meeting moment. It's how you check on a colleague's progress. A very common mistake is asking, why haven't you finished yet? Or where is the file?
Ooh, that feels like a teacher talking to a student. It's very top-down and can cause a lot of friction in a team.
Exactly. It's an error that makes you look like a micromanager. To be a leader, you need the supportive alignment approach.
Supportive alignment. How does that sound in English?
Use phrases like, I'm just checking in on the status of, or I wanted to see if there are any bottlenecks I can help clear for you.
Bottlenecks. That is such a high-level term. It suggests you are there to help clear the path, not to judge them.
Correct. Or try, I'm just circling back to make sure we're still on track for Friday.
On track. We've heard that one before. It's a staple. It keeps the focus on the goal, not the fault.
Exactly, Mark. When you use these phrases, you aren't policing people, you are empowering them. And that is the hallmark of an executive-level communicator.
Sarah, my mind is blown. We've covered 10 massive scenarios that can change someone's entire career path.
It's been an incredible session, but now it's time for our listeners to take action.
Out of all 10 scenarios we've discussed, from the command trap to bottlenecks, which one was your biggest light bulb moment? Choose just one phrase you'll use tomorrow and write it in the comments.
Yes, writing it down is the first step to owning it. We'll be reading through and replying to your choices.
Sarah, I feel like we've given our audience a true executive shield today.
I hope so, Mark. Remember, everyone listening, business English isn't about having a perfect accent. It's about being clear, courteous, and committed.
The 3 C's: clear, courteous, and committed. I'm going to remember that.
If you found today's video valuable, please don't let your learning stop here. We have a dedicated series on leadership language and conflict resolution that follows this same easy approach.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. We're here every week to help you transform your English into a professional asset.
Thank you for sharing your time with us. Go out there, use these phrases, and notice how differently people start to respond to you.
Keep practicing, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.